Hi, I'm Christy Moore.
And I'm Harley Dufek.
And today we're going to talk about how do I sell my home virtually? So we are getting this question a lot because things are changing in the real estate market, and selling your home virtually, we've been doing that for many years because we have lots of overseas buyers and military buyers. And so, we have been selling houses sight unseen for many, many years. But a lot of the real estate process has changed, and I don't think it will go back completely to normal. So we might as well talk about how it works now. So a lot of the parts of the process of selling real estate has changed more virtual. So, it used to be you would go and meet with the seller and sit down with them and look at their house and, do that whole song and dance. But now...
And some people had multiple agents do that.
Right. But now, it doesn't make a lot of sense to be doing that. Have people coming in and out of your house if it's not necessary, or meeting with them in person. So what are you doing right now to meet with clients and keep them safe?
So we have been meeting on Zoom or, basically on virtual chat. So on the computer.
But what about looking at the house? I mean, don't you need to see the house? Like, how do you know what you're doing with the house?
You see the house, and actually, there's probably at this point, we've sold 1,700 homes since we've started. There's probably not too many homes or home styles that we have not seen before. So
that's very true.
So have we seen your home? Yes.
Maybe just a different address.
Maybe a different address.
But we've seen the house.
We've seen the house.
Yeah.
And so there's that. So pricing the home. Okay. So why does your agent need to see the home? Okay,
well, because they need to see what needs to be done, what it looks like.
Sure.
Where are you going to price it?
Right. So in our initial process, the question isn't so much about your home. Your home and us don't have an issue. Okay. We can sell any home on the planet, right?
Anywhere, anytime.
Doesn't matter. Your home and I are just fine. The only question is, do you want us to do it? So that's really what we focus on in that first meeting and we do it virtually. We do it on video chat. It's pretty simple. You just have to sit down and be present and be in front of a computer. And yes, you can do it on your smartphone. So it's very convenient today.
So then how do you see the property to determine what needs to be done and the pricing of the property? Great
question. So once we have gone through all of our process together and you and I have decided, hey, this is a good fit for us to work together, we'll go ahead and sign paperwork. And then the very next meeting is when we come out and take a look at your house, and we do it with what we call is a room by room review. Okay.
And who does that room-by-room review?
Well, that's actually handled by our listing concierge, and she's very good. You'll love her, and she's also happens to be our stager interior designer, and she'll come out, take a look at your house, do a full report on it. So it's actually pretty comprehensive. So we look at it from an aesthetic standpoint, okay, and that's really what this is. This is about the feeling of your home. About what is that impression going to be like when a buyer comes in to view it, because that's going to ultimately be the biggest swing of the needle on your sale.
How emotionally attached are they going to be to your house?
Right.
Because emotions are expensive.
Right.
And they will pay the most if they're emotionally attached.
So at this point, you've had an expert take a look at your house purely from the data, and actually in that standpoint, that's how I like to do it. I don't want to misjudge a home or be misled by exterior.
Or have a seller convince you it's worth more because they put in a new furnace.
And that happens. So we really want to be very data driven with that, and we'll come up with a good price from there. Now that price can always change, and it depends all the way up to the time of listing of what the actual dollar and cent of it will be. But we can get very, very close just by looking at the data. Again, we sold a lot of them. We kind of know what we're doing that way. So we're looking at it as far as pricing like that. Second one is just going to be from a highest level expert in terms of what does it look like and feel like, and if it's not quite there, what are the things that we can do to make it present better?
Yeah, what are the low dollar, high return things you can do to get the most amount of money in the house and sell it quickly?
The third thing that we have is I just call it the actual mechanics of the house. Okay, so how does it function? That's not your concierge.
She's not
doing that. She's just looking at it aesthetically. That's where we bring in a third person, bring in an actual licensed inspector to look at your house, and top to bottom, it takes 3 to 4 hours. Going to go into the crawl space, going to go into the attic, going to turn every knob, turn on everything, turn off everything, and write a full report. These reports can be 30 to 50 pages long about anything and everything functionality-wise of your house. So yeah, we want to know it from all angles, what it is, and from those three. So that's a really good place to start.
Mm-hmm. Well, and knowing what's wrong with your house before you put it on the market will save you money, because you can get it fixed by somebody that's not necessarily an electrician. If it's a cover plate or something like that, when you're under contract, it has to be higher licensed professionals. And also, buyers always try to renegotiate the deal even when it's not necessary. And we just had that happen with a deal where we had all these reports and everything, and the buyer just kept wanting money for nothing. And that's not how this goes. We're not just giving you money, people.
Right.
But knowing that going into it is much better, and being able to make those repairs before you get a buyer trying to nitpick you and renegotiate you when you're under contract is a much better way to do it. So what about closings? I mean, how are people closing nowadays? Because it's a wet signature state in Virginia. You have to sign on a dotted line. So how are people dealing with that?
So normally we, as an agent, would attend the closing along with the attorney and sometimes another signer, and then of course the whoever's in the transaction, the buyer or the seller, would be all in the same room and doing this. Well, not so anymore, right? So you're going to go. There could be handled in several ways. Number one, if you're moving and you're out of state, out of the country, what have you, we can still close with you.
Yeah.
No problem. We do it all the time. It's called a mail away. You'll just simply get a mail packet of everything. You'll need to have it notarized. You just go sit and sign it in front of a notary. That's what happens if you're out of town. If you're in town, you're gonna go to the local title office that we're in agreement with on your transaction, and have it done with the attorney. Now, how those title offices handle it might vary slightly. However, they're basically set up to be all virtual with this too. They'll have everything ready. You'll go into your own room, do your signing, ask any questions that way, and it's just handled.
And we can be there. We're just not there physically.
Yep, we'll be there virtually.
I can't give you a hug, so I'm sorry. It's right now. It's just going to be
missing the best part.
A virtual hug instead. So I know a lot of you have questions about showings. I mean, if you're a seller, how do you show your house safely and virtually? Okay.
So if you're not living in the house, that's pretty self-explanatory, right? Now, if you're living in the house, understand that typically showings happen when you're absent of the house anyway. So you need to be removed from the house during the showings. We have a showing service that will alert you. They're all by appointment. So showings are always done by appointment, okay? Some sellers think that the listing agent shows the buyers. That is incorrect. So the listing agent does not show the buyers. The buyers are shown your home by their own agent. We are not present. And it wouldn't be proper for us to be present anyway. That is their time together with their own agent to look at the house. Okay, so to answer the question, it will be scheduled, and we can make this schedule on your schedule too. So
we don't double book, or all of the showings have to be in their own time slot. So there's not more than a few people in the house at a time, and we have people follow safety guidelines,
masks, gloves, booties. That's common and standard today.
And it really also depends on your comfort level of what you're willing to do. I know when I sold my house, which was a different time, but I still didn't feel comfortable staying in my house while it was being shown. So I just stayed in somewhere else for the weekend because I didn't want to have to deal with making my bed at 4 a.m. and cleaning and then still going to work and dealing with all of that while my house is being shown. So it just depends on what your needs are and what your comfort level is.
Yeah, and on our main plan, we list on a Wednesday, on a given Wednesday. It's just the best day to list a home, and then we review offers by Monday by 5 p.m.
Right.
So during that 5-day period, we recommend that take a little staycation. Be absent from the home during that 5 days. It's just an incredible amount of showings that happen. And it's really inconvenient to be in, be out all the time. So if you can, and you're thinking about it, just maybe consider just taking 5 or 6 days and going somewhere else during that time.
Hang out with family or something.
When you come back, you have a contract on your house.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. So great way to do it. A lot of folks do it that way.
So if you're looking to sell your house, feel free to call, text, or email us for a consultation.